kids. How you doing? It's Mark Miller here. Roy's not going to be with us today, it looks like, so we're going to go jump right over into the code, and we'll continue what we were doing yesterday. Let's get our D&D Spike app up. Let's run it, and we'll see what we have to do. We're not far from where we want to be. Not far. There's the CodeRushed drone flying around, collecting some coins. And let's do two other things here. Let's go get rid of our drone for a sec. And let's go jump down over to our player view. Right there. And let's come up here and we'll take a look at this where we are. So we had some problems yesterday with regards to drawing a wall on the upper side. Here, I'll do this for now. I'll show you the basics. So if I do a selection like this and I say I want a left wall on that selection, it'll get me a left wall on that selection. And so there you can see it right there. So not too bad. If I do the same selection, I say Codebase Alpha, kids. Hey, Merry Christmas to one and all. How you doing, Codebase Alpha? Glad to have you here on our special holiday stream. I'm just showing our lines, our walls, our wall drawing, what we've got so far. So if we got a selection, we want to put a right wall, we can do that. And so we got that far right there. So not too bad. Right after the show, I just made a couple minor tweaks to it so that if you create another wall, like right here, what it will do is it will it'll create a it'll cut a hole in the vertical wall because it sees that there's another wall nearby it. Similarly, if I were to come in here and say I want a wall in the bottom of that selection like that, it cuts the others. And so I just added a little bit of codes to cut. So here, if I say a wall on the left, it'll cut this piece right here. And the reason it needs to cut those is because we need to put the end caps in. So we need to figure out where the end caps go. That's one of the things we're going to do on the stream today. Codebase Alpha is replete after a big meal. I think replete means satisfied, but in this moment, I'm realizing, yeah, I'm not 100% certain of that. Let's go look that up. Filled or well supplied with something. There you go. Very full or sated by food. Okay. I'm with you. Cool. So that's kind of where we are. Now, there's a interesting bug that showed up. These walls have a transparency in them, in their shadows. So it's dark here and it goes out to transparent. What's interesting is here when it's over the tile, or if we were to take the tile, for example, let's double click this room and give it a tile background. You can see that shadow is there. With the tile background, we can't really see how, we can't exactly, hold on, let me kill the selection a second and zoom in again. With the tile, it's a little harder to see the problem, but if I really zoom in, you can kind of see it right here. Notice how the shadow comes and then ends right here. And at first I was like, wait, what's going on here? I'll show you again right over here. We need to create an intersection to show the problem. So there's one piece and we'll create this piece. And so now we have an intersection and now we can more readily see the problem. What's happening is when we're copying to the layer, we're basically saying, hey, we're drawing our vertical lines first, then our horizontal lines second, it looks like. And so our vertical line comes in and it draws normally. Okay, so it says like right here it's black with maybe about a 50% opacity and does the same thing on this side. But then when this one comes in, it replaces and writes over that on the layer. And when I saw this and I noticed this happening, I realized, oh no, I'm going to have to go into the bitmap. I'm going to have to check to see what the existing pixel is, what its opacity is, and then merge it with this one. And then as I was going to bed last night, it hit me, oh, I don't need to do that at all. I can actually fix this bug by creating another layer. We've already got in our map engine the ability to set up different visual layers and overlap them. So I can have one layer for vertical lines, another for horizontal lines, and this problem goes away. So let's fix that problem now. I wonder if I can fix that using edit and continue. I might be able to do that without restarting the app. Let's go look at our layers. This is our layer class right here. And I want to see, I'm just tabbing next reference. I want to see where our other layers are at. Actually, we can go look at vertical wall and horizontal wall. Okay, build walls. Yeah, I think we're going to need restart because we need to change some parameters over here. So I'm going to just hit Shift F5. And I'm going to start up some music too as well. And so now we need to change this up a little bit. I'm going to call this the horizontal wall layer as this parameter 1. I think I can select all of this and hit Shift Enter. And now I can type in vertical wall layer. And that's just CodeRushed right there, taking care of that for me right there, doing the line, the duplication, the selection duplication there. So really nice if you want to have several parameters of the same type in your function. So here, draw horizontal wall is there, and now we're going to say draw vertical wall here. Let's go look at our build walls. This is now going to become our horizontal wall layer. Like that. We're going to dive into the declaration for that, Shift Enter on that, and CodeRushed is now learning that I like to change horizontal to vertical and suggested that. So good. So there's that. Now we'll duplicate this line as well. That takes care of that. So now we've got the horizontal and the vertical. That's cool. Another tab to next reference here. Codebase Alpha says that's one cool jersey you're wearing. Yeah, check it out. My head's gone. The live coders. Yeah. Codebase Alpha, I'm actually thinking about, I'm toying with the idea of creating a reverse version of the jersey so that because I reverse my camera, so that when I point to my right, it's also to the stream's right as well. And so when I point up at code and I look up at code, same thing happens there. So, but then the problem is backwards. So kind of thinking I want to, I'm playing with the idea of getting jerseys and things like that with text backwards so it all looks normal to you. All right, tap to next reference on the horizontal right here. Clear that, duplicate line. Look at how fast and easy it is to write this new code just with because CodeRushed has learned this for me. Now, can I select this and hit Shift Enter? Oh, look at that. It's like I have to do nothing almost, right? It's just that one change and then CodeRushed kind of gets the pattern and figures it out all the way. So that's, I think, all I have to do. And I think with just by adding that layer, that horizontal wall layer. Wait, is there any other tab next reference on here? No, that's the only places it's happening. Now, all right, let's run it. Let's just see if it fixes that bug. Great idea. I never thought about reversing the camera. Pointing on the stream always goes wrong for me. Yeah. So that's what I like about this setup. I actually saw Brendan doing this, and I realized, oh, what's really cool about his setup is when he looks up at the code, if I look up at the code in that direction right there, my eyes are relatively in the same direction as what you're seeing here, right? The trick is you got to put the camera right underneath the monitor, kind of center it. This one's not quite centered, so it doesn't quite line up, but that's kind of it. I've also thought about using a half silvered glass with the camera coming from the side, getting the reverse automatically, which allows me to look right into the code and I'm looking into the camera at the same time, which is kind of nice. But I haven't played with that yet. Haven't done it yet. Okay, so let's see what we can do here. Let's create a wall here. We're going to put it on the right side. And let's create a wall going right. Well, let's just put one right on the side of it because that's specifically what we're looking at. Put it on the bottom.
Genesco 7, where are you? We need your help.
Oh no, I didn't know this guy was coming.
Oh, alright.
Thank goodness, Genesco 7. Get that guy. He's gonna ruin my show. Thank goodness, we'll never see him again. Oh no! Genescu7, welcome, buddy. How you doing? Stand by for blasting, says Codebase Alpha. We've got a really outer space theme going here so far today with Codebase Alpha and Genescu7. All right, so now check it out. That problem is fixed, and now that blending's happening automatically. We got this nice alpha blending coming in at the corner, which is what we want. We want that to look good, right? So we're good there. Next thing we got to do is we got to put, well, actually, there's another bug I want to fix. I want to spend a little bit of time on another bug. There's actually two bugs I noticed here. One is down here. If I come in here and I say I want to, let's do a line on the top, it should work. No worries. If I say I want a line on the bottom, though, we get a problem. The reason why is because we're trying to copy pixels outside the range where it does not exist anymore. Now, I could write code to check this, but I kind of thought about this problem and I decided I don't want to write code to check it. Instead, I want to give it more space. So, I think what I want to do is I want to create a property here, I think, called outer margin. And I think it's going to be an int. And what this is going to do, so related to this, by the way, hold on, let me run it one more time before we do anything with this outer margin. I must have zoned out a bit there. Can show it again how you fix the blending bug. Yes, I can. Yeah. No, I see how that would be missed because there's this kind of thing that's happening that's not quite so obvious here. Is we've built into our architecture the ability to have multiple layers on top of each other. Essentially, imagine multiple PNGs on top of each other. So if I come in here and I double click the room and I say I want the room tile to look like this, and then I come over here, select, and I say I want a vertical wall like that on the room, then there you go. I've just built it. And this is actually being displayed as two different PNGs on top of each other. Similarly, the 3D depth of each tile, right? This piece right in here, this 3D kind of edging that's happening right here. You can see it right here behind me. This edging right here and down here. And on the other side right here, this edging is also coming from, that edging is coming from its own layer that's added to the tiles, based on where the rooms are, and we don't add that layering here in the outside void space. So we have multiple layers on top of each other. Before we had the problem because we were trying to draw the assets on the same layer. The asset, as it goes to the edge, says it's going to have a very, very low opacity, so it's going to be almost transparent. And that asset is going to edge was overlapping another asset's transparent setting that was already there. So it occurred to me, all I need to do is take our layering engine, which we built here on the stream just a couple days ago, and just create a new layer and now put the horizontal walls on one layer and the vertical walls on their own layer. And now we won't overwrite and change the opacity of anything that's already there. Instead, we'll use the engine to do the mixing for us automatically. So that's how we fixed it. It was a little bit, you had to know what the engine was doing to understand how just a few lines of code changed that and fixed the bug. So no, I totally appreciate you asking that question, Codebase Alpha. So cool. Okay, so now we did have a problem yesterday we were not able to fix, and I just said, let's get rid of the problem for now. And the problem was if I was up here and I said, give me a wall on top, we couldn't get it because we had to crop it with this complexity of copying the bitmaps. And then we have this other problem down here at the bottom as well, where we try to, and they're both related problems. If I say I want a wall on the bottom, we have a similar problem. Now I have code on the top that avoids the exception and code on the bottom that I don't have any code to avoid the exception on the bottom. So that's the bug I want to fix now. I want to be able to show the one on the top. Now, it occurred to me also similarly, just as I was going to sleep last night, I was like, both of these problems I can fix by taking my layer and just giving it more space on the sides and giving it an adjustment in terms of where it's going to position itself. So I'm going to give it an outer margin property, and I'm going to use that when we call set size. And so now I'm going to set size, whoops, I want to stop that. Plus 2 times outer margin, like that. And the height is going to be there, like that. And then, let's see, add images to canvas. This is inside layer. Now what I want to do here is I want to say, I want to set its left position. I want to say canvas dot set left of the image, and I want to set its left position to a negative outer margin, like that. I want to do the same with set top, like that. Wait a minute. Why are we not seeing outer margin? Where's outer margin? Did I not put that in layer? Oh, it's in layers. I don't want it in layers. Sorry. I want it in layer. And hold on. I want it here. Like that. So I want the layer to have its own outer margin property. I think we got a problem over the other one. Watching CodeRushed on stream on Boxing Day is a really cool way to spend a lazy afternoon. Cool. Thanks, buddy. Let's see if we can be cool. That's what I'm always trying to do. All right, where were we? We had in layers. We've got a problem because I was in set size, and I need to take essentially that code and I need to put that inside the set size of layer. That's what I need to do. Like this. And like this. And then I need to use, I no longer want to use this. So I'm going to use that instead, like that right there. And I think that's it. So now we're creating the writable bitmap. We're giving it an outer margin, a buffer space on which we can draw. And now we only need, the only thing we need to do is now reposition it outside and decide what that outer layer is going to be. So to do that, we want to go find our constructor for this thing. And we want to initialize outer, I got to do this right here, I think. Outer margin, set it equal to tile.width times 2. I think is what we're going to do, like that. So we're going to add a tile at the top and a tile at the bottom. Now, in doing that, or maybe we'll just make it one tile. Let's do one tile. Now, in doing that, it's going to shift everything. Everything's going to be off by a bit. So we're going to need to fix the walls being off by a bit. Or should I make it width divided by 2? I think this is the bare minimum I need right here, actually. Width divided by 2. Let's play in that space. So everything's off now by half of the width. That means that when we call build walls and we call draw horizontal wall, we need to adjust. So the horizontal wall has got a Y adjust, and here we're saying it's the tile height minus this, but I think we need to say, we need to add half of the tile height to that. So let's say it's maybe 3 times tile height divided by 2. So 1.5 tile heights. That's our Y adjust. And we have to do the same down here in the X adjust. It's kind of like I'm preemptively fixing bugs that I'm imagining I'm going to have, but we haven't verified that I'm going to have. So this may all just work, and we may still have, let's run it. Let's see what happens. All right, coming up. Here we go. Dragging it over here. All right, so first of all, let's just draw one here and see if we get the walls where we're expecting them to be. Right here. So we'll say upper. Oh, good. Okay, off by 1. It's shifted left 1. Yeah, I forgot about that. And then that also means that this one is going to be off by 1 too. If we, in other words, it's on the right spot, but we need to add one tile, half of the tile width, to both of these. We need an X adjust is what we need here. And I think we can do it here. Tile width divided by 2. Set a breakpoint here. I think we can just fix it now. Let's just say we want to draw everything around that. And then we're going to say X is equal to this. Uh-oh. Hey, I'm trying to write code. Please not today. Please don't. Oh, funny. It is yummy, though. Very yummy pudding. Thanks, pudding, for showing up. Good to see you here. So here we go. Let's come in here. Tile width divided by 2 plus that. And then we're going to do the same kind of thing down here for the Y position as well. We're going to start it out and say tile height. Now, these are both the same because it's a square tile, but I'm going to just use these in case, someday I go crazy and make rectangular tiles. Let's see. Does that fix it? I almost feel like it did. This one's not right here, but I think it's because I already ran one. If I add one more wall, if I say let's put the walls around here, I think everything's going to fix itself. There we go. Yeah, there you go. All right, cool. So now, does that mean we can now draw lines across the top here? We can. All right, cool. So that is fixed. We now can have walls right up against the edge here. Now, can we also have walls against the bottom? Let's go select this room and say we want to draw walls all around that. Do we get them? Yeah, we do. So we get them around the bottom here as well. That reminds me, Drown in Wiggly Love. We have apple crumbling in the fridge. Nice. Okay, cool. So look, we've solved both of our problems, right? That were yesterday kind of plaguing us, and we solved them with just a few changes. That's what a good night's sleep does, right? We've got walls coming right up against the edge. I don't have any edge on the right side here to do that test with. Oh, but I think I could do this. Can I select that and say, let's draw walls all the way around it? Yeah, and we see it. Sweet. In fact, we even see it coming off the edge of the map. Right there. So I'm cool with that. All right, now we got to draw the corners and the edges, right? Because right now it's looking okay, but it's not looking gorgeous. So this is where we need to figure out these walls and edges. That's what we need to do. And I'm not sure how to do this just yet. I got an inefficient idea. Let's go look at draw horizontal wall. Well, we could do it here. My inefficient idea. So building the walls, here's what's happening. We're going through, the code is this right here. It's not the most efficient way to do it, I imagine. I think there might be a faster way to do this. That kind of explores like a flood fill explores. But it's, I think, not bad. It checks to see if we're at the horizontal wall start. Then we call collect horizontal wall. That tells us how much of the wall we can get. Then we call draw horizontal wall. So now we know the edges, but we haven't yet collected everything around it. Yeah, I think I'm going to do it the inefficient way. That's what I'm going to do. Pudding thinks the apple crumbling is going to be delicious. I would agree with that. Sounds awesome. Okay. Oh, one of our friends, so I'm on ketogenic diet, so I can't do a lot of carbs. One of our friends made us an entire keto cheesecake. It was it was crazy. I was like, wow, that's a lot of work. So I really appreciated that. All right. So let's see. Draw horizontal wall. I could do this. What do we got here? In our horizontal wall data, is the walls. It's the wall data. Yeah, it's just got its X, Y, and wall length. It doesn't have anything else. I almost think like we need in our wall data, in our collect horizontal wall, we need to also figure out what the caps are going to be. That's what I think we're going to do. The thing I'm worried about, yeah, I think the caps have got to be on their own layer, because my inefficient approach is going to maybe draw a cap more than once. And the caps, I think, have the ability, they have an overlapping, do they have an overlapping part on the caps or not? Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards my own layer for the caps. I don't know if I'm gonna have a problem or not. And I think here in the horizontal wall, this is where we want to collect the data on what the end cap and start caps are going to be. Let's create a new class. And I'm just curious, can this be static? Nope. Nope. Has horizontal wall, has vertical touching wall. Yeah, it does need the map data. Okay, so it cannot be static. All right. Hold on. I'm looking at this start column and start row. What is going on with that? Looks like I declared these in totally the wrong spaces. Also, we're not even using them yet. These are in the wrong places. Let's fix this. Yeah, yesterday I was a little bit tired, you know, Christmas and stuff like that. So we're going to come in here instead and we're going to say result.start column. And let's get rid of these. Cut those to the clipboard. Go to wall data, which I don't see. Where's wall data? It's in the wrong file name. Yeah. Rename file to match type. Let's put those pieces in there. Okay, so there's that. Where's my here we go. Okay. Whoops, put this up above. Okay. So now we know our start column and end column, which is what we need to figure out the end caps on that. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to say draw end caps like this. And yeah, I just think this is going to work. It's what I think this is going to work. But this is my approach. I think it's going to work, so I'm going to do it, and it might be a little inefficient, but we'll be okay. End cap layer like this. We're going to come up here, select that, shift enter, paste. Oh, did I have the whole thing on the clipboard? All right, so there's my end cap layer there. Let's tab to next reference. We want to throw that in as well. Come in here, duplicate that line, end cap layer like that. And yeah, I think we need the same thing in the outer margin there as well. Okay. And we need to add it here. All right. So now we've added our end cap layer and we're passing it in here. Good. So now we're going to call draw end caps. And we're going to do the same here. All right, so now here's where we have to be smart. And we have to also we have to grab the hold on. I think I want to extract this into its own class. Oh, it is. Wait, I've got a wall builder class. All right, cool. It's just in the same file. All right, hold on. Let's move it to its own file. Good. So I did this yesterday. We've got the horizontal wall, the vertical wall. Now we have to add all of the end caps. Let's go bring those up so you can see what they look like here. And maps and walls. Here we go. So these are the different end caps that we have. And I'm going to start by adding just the left end cap, and we'll see if we can get the left one working here. So end cap left.png. So that's what we'll do here. Create a new image, call it end cap left, like that. And then we're going to do that and end cap left.png. That's it. Okay, that looks good. And all right. Now all of these end caps are exactly the same size, so they have the exact same center point. So once we get this positioned in the right spot, all the others positioning should work, I contend. That's what I believe is true. All right, so now we got to find out if an end cap belongs in that particular location. So where are we? Draw end cap. So here we are. And if it does exist, we're going to call end cap layer dot draw image at, like this. We're going to pass in end cap left, like this, and we're going to need our X adjust as well here. Ooh, this could totally solve our problem here with regards to figuring out, excuse me, this solve our problem figuring out what's going on here. Not end cap layer, sorry, I want end cap left right here. Like that, figuring out exactly where to position it. I think this is going to work because well, at least it'll be a good start. It'll get us at least pretty close to it. The center of it is what we're trying to line up there. So I think that code's going to work there. The Y position is going to be equal to I'm going to make this. And this one is not going to be plus end cap indent. This one I think is going to be minus. Maybe I'll just start with here. And we're looking at image height is right there. Wait, these are cropping pieces, is that right? This is how to cropping the height. I don't think we're ever cropping these anymore. Okay. Let's do this. Let's say X is equal to, and then we need a, I think we need to go to map. Wall data, maybe let's consider this for a second. Wall data start column times tile.width So that's my X position right there. There's my X adjust up there. It's going to be X plus that. I'm going to call this Y adjust. And I'm realizing I'm kind of calculating these while adjusts. Well, that X adjust is specific to the piece, to the item. I think this still deserves to be in its own function. Get X adjust. Let's make this a parameter. Like this. Call this image. That. And so now my get X adjust is here. And now this code up here is going to be get X adjust on the vertical wall, which is way better. And this we're going to turn into get Y adjust. Cool. And we're going to also take the horizontal wall and make that a parameter. Call it image. All right, cool. So we got get Y adjust, get X adjust. Put those close by. Let's just do this for now. Wall data dot start row times tile dot height plus tile dot height divided by 2. So that's going to draw that end cap right there. That's going to be the end left one. Now I want to extract all of this into its own function called draw cap. And call this layer, I suppose. Wall data. I want to take this and promote that to a parameter. Call this image, like that. All right, good. That feels better to me. Now what I want to do is check to see if we need that there. We need that at the at that location. I think we need the map data here, though, because we need to look and see what belongs here. Yeah. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to come in here, hit CodeRushed key, choose add parameter, paste that in, hit enter, paste it in here as well, and now I've got the map. Now I'm going to come in here and I want to say, okay, look, we know with the wall data we've got to start column and end. So I think we need to do this. We need to get that tile. So I'm going to say map.allTiles of the wall data dot start column comma wall data dot start row. Like that's going to be the first tile. And then I want to say I think what I want to do is create something called draw cap at. Then I want to do this. And so now we've got a tile coming in. And do I need my wall data anymore? I don't think I do, actually. Draw cap. Am I using wall data here? What am I doing with wall data? Column and row. Okay, cool. We can use a cool CodeRushed refactoring here called decompose parameter. And that's going to take our wall data and turn it into the two start row and start column pieces right there. So real nice refactoring right there. So now I don't have a dependency in draw cap on the wall data anymore. Since I don't need that anymore, I can do the same thing actually here, draw cap at right here. Do the same thing here, I think. Well, at this point, actually, to be honest, the tile is going to have like its row and column, I think. Yeah. So we're just going to change this to use the tiles like that. Then we can come up to wall data, remove unused parameter. And, okay. Why are we not drawing the image, though? Oh, I see. We don't need this here anymore either. Okay. Okay. So now the question is, well, we could just do this, actually. So anytime there's an end cap, we're going to draw that end cap at the left tile, and we can just look at that and see what it looks like. Let's see if we're actually getting close to where we want to be. Then we'll write the code that decides which cap to use. All right, so we'll just draw a straight line across here on the top. Problem with right pixels 2. What's our call stack? It's from clear rect. It's in the horizontal wall layer. And I'm just noticing we did not clear all on the end cap layer. We need that here as well. I'm not getting why we're having a problem here. We weren't having a problem before. What we did should have not made any changes to it. Out of memory exception. Out of memory, does this mean we are in a, no, I was going to say like infinite loop. Call stack doesn't seem to indicate that's the case, that we're kind of reentrant or doing something like that. Why are we out of memory? Is there an inner exception? Nope. I don't get what's going on here. Let's see if I can duplicate it. And then if I can, let's comment out the code we just added and see if I can still duplicate. Yep. All right, let's go look at our code changes. Well, we should be able to restore where we were by commenting these two pieces out. Let's run it. coming from clear rect. Clear all. Yeah, this, I'm not even getting this. This doesn't make any sense at all to me. It doesn't appear to have any functional changes that we've made. And it doesn't appear to be like a problem where we're doing this multiple times. I've got a breakpoint here when we call end wall update. And that's the trigger through the call stack. This is a mystery at this point to me. So this pixel height and width is 8880 is its height, and 6960 is its width. And you can see that both of those are being passed in here as well. Let's jump inside. Right pixels 2. Source bytes per pixel, 4 bytes per pixel, that makes sense. Source bytes per line, okay. How to memory exception. Pixel height is 880. Oh wait, hold on. The problem, I think, is the pixel height. The pixel height is not 880. Okay, I think I'm narrowing down where and even the pixel width, it's a pixel width 6960. Could that be real?
Is in the house.
Always the visionary. He looks forward to seeing 2020. Happy last stream of the year. Isn't source bytes per line way off? I don't think so. Well, here's the deal. The pixel width seems giant to me. It seems really big. The pixel height and pixel width are both giant. So we kind of need to follow this back and see what's going on here. This is getting from the source image, pixel width and pixel height. So go back out of here. The source image is this one passed into copying image 2. Draw image at there. This is the image. Horizontal wall. We're not even at this point yet. It's just the image from the piece in there. I almost want to look back at where we declare these in, was it Wall Builder? I'm feeling like the problem is in this space. No, it's in the layer, maybe. Hold on, I think it's in the layer. It's in the call to set size. Let's go look at that. So set size comes in here. Let's set a breakpoint here and see what the dimensions are. Yeah, I think potentially they're both off by a factor. I feel like we've added some code in here. We've set up the outer margin here. Set size. So what's my width? Yeah, these are pretty big in terms of dimension, the height and the pix. Where am I getting these from? Rightmost column index. Total size of the array you're trying to allocate. It's pretty big. I didn't. It's got a lot of numbers in it. Will. What's interesting, we didn't have this problem before, and now I'm like, wait, all of a sudden we're having this problem, and it doesn't quite make sense to me. Basically we're talking about this number 6840 times this number 8760 times 4. That's what's happening in here. The width of pixels, let's just see what's going on there. Yeah, this code's always been the same. We can set breakpoints here and here and restart and see what these numbers are. I don't think those are going to be different. I think these are going to be reasonable. Yeah, 56 columns by 72. 72 rows. So it looks like the math for this looks like this. Hold on. "56 columns times 72." Actually, it should be 50. Hold on. It should be 57 times 73. Wait, hold on. Clear. 57 times 73. That's how many tiles we have. Okay. Times 120 on one side, times 120 on the other side, times 4. 239 megabytes. So we're trying to allocate for the image total. Yeah, it seems a little big. Is that right, tile? There's 120 pixels per line. Why did we not have problems until now, is my question. And it didn't seem like it was... am I doing the math on that right? I think I am. Yeah, 73 times 120 equals, yeah, 8,760 pixels across. If it's got 73, well, 73 tall. Yeah. 4 bytes per pixel. It's pretty big. Yeah, it is a lot. Well, I can drop my tile width down is what I can do. Not so happy about that, though. I have an idea as to why it may be it's happening now and it wasn't happening before. Give me a second here. Let's go into our layers. Set size. Let's not add an end cap layer here to this. So we don't add the end cap layer. It's not that's what the thing that may be changed. In other words, we were able to handle all of these layers, but once we got to here, we got out of memory. Let's see where we're using end cap layer. Let's do that. And that's not used there. Let's run this. And if this works, then we know we kind of have we're running right up against the limits of at least what the machine's allowing us to do and allocate. Whoa. Yep. That's it. That's not good. Because if I want the, I've got a couple options. I can draw, right now I can draw the end caps on the existing layer, which I think I'm going to do to get around this bug for now. But getting around this bug is going to be tricky because I want to do two things. One is when I zoom in, I want it to look good, but I also want to be able to support multiple layers, including another layer where we're going to put the monsters and the anybody floating on top of this world. So monsters and players. So I need one more layer is what I need. That's too bad. Yeah, in other words, the code to fix this is going to be a little complex, I think, to fix this. Because I want to basically swap out textures and images as I come in and out. It could change everything fundamentally. So what I should do maybe... Yeah. I'm not sure where the fix is. This is going to require some thought. So this app must be sucking up gigabytes of memory. Yeah, there you go right there. So we've about 2 gig right now. Okay, so let's take our end caps and draw on an existing wall layer that we have. So I wonder if there's a way to merge 2 layers together easily, so I can build up these on different layers, merge them together onto one. If not, I'm going to have to go in and add some code to combine 2 images and essentially merge them together. I'll have to write that code, I think, from scratch. That takes, one PNG with a pixel of a particular opacity and overwrites another PNG pixel below it with its own potential opacity, and then merges the 2 of those together. Maybe draw and release. Well, kind of. Do I need to? At least now I need to, because these layers are images that WPF is holding on to, and they're all displayed on top of each other. So yeah, kind of now is the answer to that question. But later, after some refactoring, maybe I don't need all of these. That's why I was kind of asking the question, can I merge these 2 together, or 3 or 4 together, and then come back out with one? Ultimately, this is not what's going to be on the stream. Ultimately, what's going to go out onto the stream is the product of this, which is going to be a PNG file that we're going to save out to a folder, and then we're going to send a command to load that up. So we're going to save this out to PNG, send a signal R command down to the stream layers, overlays, and the stream overlay is going to load that new image in the background for the map. 2 gigabytes not enough. The solution is simple. Go to a 64-bit process, says Coding Gorilla. I've never done that before, and so is it as simple? Let me ask you this. Is it as simple as coming in here and having some sort of setting? Is my question. I feel like I have to look this up on how to do this. Build, would it be in build? Prefer 32-bit. Is it this setting right here? Let's see what happens if we do that and we add our code back in. So there's our end cap layer. We're sending clear all to it. And we're adding it there. Let's see if that solves the problem. And ultimately, it's like something really to keep in mind, because from an efficiency standpoint, it's sucking up a lot of memory, right? And definitely we need something to optimize this. So the test would be click here and we don't get the exception. All right, so that looks like that did actually fix it. Oh, we do have this code commented out, so we're not drawing anything on it. So let's do something here. Just uncheck prefer 32-bit. Oh, that's all I have to do. Okay. And let's run it now with drawing the end caps. And now do we have, hey, cool. All right, we're not in the right spot, but we've got an end cap there. Let's see how much memory we're sucking up. Yeah, there we are. We're about close to 3 gigs right now. So each layer is about 600 megabytes is what it looks like. So it seems to be double what we calculated, I think. When we got this whole thing out, we got about 240 megabytes. So kind of interesting, but possibly workable. Okay, so now this position's off, so we need to move it to the left by 1 tile and move it down by half of a tile, it looks like, is what we need to do. So let's go look at our draw end caps, draw cap at, and then draw cap here. All right, so the start column is equal to this, and then sorry, just to double check here. Start column needs to go over to the left by 1. Okay, so let's put a breakpoint here. And it's got to go down by half. So we'll come down here, and we're going to say bottom line for a bottom wall. So this is going to be start column -1. I think, and start row, we're not going to add the tile height divided by 2 because we need to add another one. It's going to be start row +1. Really? That's kind of weird. I have a feeling this is going to be true for a horizontal and maybe different for a different one. I think we might get into some trouble here that we're going to find these numbers have to be adjusted differently. Let's see what happens with these. Okay, not bad. Getting closer. I was kind of about joking. Yeah, I figured you were, Coding Gorilla. But I was like, let's see. So looks like we need to still move down by a couple pixels. I'm going to kind of push it down a bit and just assume that there's this kind of, that its center is not actually in the center of the piece. We'll push that down a bit and move it to the right by 1 pixel. Let's do that now. So move it down about 3 and to the right. Okay. Oh, looks like it still needs to go over 1 pixel. Is that really 1? What is happening there? It's not bad, but that should be pixel perfect. And that doesn't quite look like 1 pixel. It looks like less than a pixel to me. It's not bad, though, in terms of the way it looks. I'm still surprised this is giving memory issues and 64-bit processors. Wait, I don't remember. Are there any issues with edit and continue in 64-bit processors? Oh, I think you're right. There are. There are. Or at least there were. Yeah, what is up with that? Why isn't that working? The draw cap here. And I think our numbers, our magic numbers, are going to give us problems too. Let's come in here and let's do that at the top. And let's just let's change it to a 2 and see what it looks like. Yeah, now we have the opposite problem. There's overlap here. Yeah, holy cow. Okay. Change it to 1.5. Oh, it can only be one. All right, because it's an int. All right. Okay, so we're going to do that. It's not too far off. We'll do that, the +1 there. And let's do a... Okay, let's inline that method, delete it. So, draw end caps. Okay, so now I think what I want to do is this. I want to say if I want to do this. No, I don't want to do this. Hold on. I want to do something like this. I want to say map dot get end cap on a particular tile. I like this better. And that's going to return end cap style, I think, or end cap kind. Nope, sorry. Enum here. And we'll say left, top, right, bottom, top left. So this is for a corner. Maybe I'll specify that. Top left corner. Top right corner. Bottom right corner. And bottom left corner. Then we're going to say top T. Right T. Bottom T. And left T. And then we have an intersection, four-way intersection. Say four-way intersection. I think those are the different end cap kinds that we have. I'll add none here as well. Okay, let's just move this up to the top. Four-way intersection is at the end. Left T should be above top T, just for so everything's in the same kind of thing. So there's my end cap kind. All right. So now we want to, where were we? Here it is right here. Get end cap kind. By the time it's done, you'll need 120 bit. I'll take it. CosDev says cool. No, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm pushing forward with this in 64-bit, and then I'm going to consider backing away and optimizing this and trying to stay within the memory constraints of 32-bit process. That's what I'm going to do. End cap kind is in the wrong spot. Right there. Let's move it to map core. Change its namespace. Okay. So now we have to work on this piece right here. So we need to figure this out. We need to basically say what is nearby in terms of the walls. right? What do we have on the walls? Now, where do we have the, in the map, we have the horizontal walls and the vertical. Here we go. All vertical walls and all horizontal walls. Has vertical wall, has horizontal wall. These are the two things we're going to be asking questions about. Has vertical touching wall. And let's extract this into its own method. This is has vertical touching wall below, like that. And this one's going to be has vertical touching wall above. And I know it's just, I know you might be thinking like, wait, it's just calling the same method, but I want it to have, I want it to be clear. I want this when I'm accessing this code, I want it to be clear what's happening here. And the shifting of the numbers inside, there's no need to shift here, but there is a need to shift here. And because that's non-intuitive to think about, I'm giving it a good name here and here. That's what I'm trying to do. So I want to do the same thing up here for has horizontal touching wall. So column 1, this is to the right, has horizontal touching wall right. And this one's going to be has horizontal touching wall left. Like that. Okay. Now we need to have the code that we need. So now the tile comes in. So we want to say something to the effect of this. If horizontal touching wall left, tile. We're passing in the column and row. Okay, so we're going to do this. We're going to say tile.column, declare local, and then row is there. And then here we're going to say column and row, like that. If has horizontal touching wall left, then we're going to do that. If has, now at this point, if we know we have a horizontal wall touching on the left, there's no way there's going to be one on the right because that's not an end cap. It's a wall that goes straight through. So we don't care about that. Is that true or no? Let's do this instead. Just in case, let's do this instead. Let's create some variables here. Wall left. Wall right. And select both of these, and we're going to say wall above. Is that right? Whoops, says vertical. Okay, there we go. And then wall below. How's everybody's holiday break going? All right, so now I've got this. So now I've got these Booleans. It's a little easier to go in and look at the code here. So now I think we're going to do like this. I guess we say this. If wall left I'm wondering if I can get a count on these. Let's see if this makes sense. I don't know if this is going to simplify the code or not. Count. So we're going to do this. If wall left, then count plus plus. Come on. This equal to 0. Because this will definitely tell us if wall top, duplicate, and then we're going to say to wall, right. Top should have been above. And then wall below. Yes. So now, if count is equal to 4, then we know that the end cap kind is equal to four-way intersection. If count is equal to 0, then we know the end cap kind is equal to none. Okay. If count is equal to 1, then we need to see which one it is. Just wondering if this is useful. Genre chicken. Top here, I think I'm going to, do I change that or not? Maybe not. Okay, wall right. And then below. Okay, so now if it's equal to 1, then we can also just say return last found. Next, we're into corners. Okay, and let's look at our corners here. If count equals 2, we're looking at corners. And if we're looking at corners, I think we're just going to go through and check each one. So we'll say, like, if wall left and wall top above, I'm going to, for consistency, I'm going to change above and below to top and bottom. Okay, so I think that'll improve readability. Okay, so if we're in the top left, then we're going to say return end cap dot top left, right? Top left corner. Just work our way around here. If it's wall top and wall right, then we're going to be top right corner. Like that. And if it's wall right and wall bottom, then we're going to be the bottom right corner. And if it's wall bottom and wall left, then we're going to be the bottom left corner. Okay, so those are my corners right there. And I suppose we could just, throw out none is here if we don't find that, which we're unlikely to ever get on that line of code. So now we've checked 0, 1, 2, and now we're left with T. So T is the only one T's that we need to solve here. And the code for that, I think, is going to look like this. If not wall left, then that. If not wall top, if not wall bottom. And then it's going to be, so if we're not a wall left, then it's going to be a left T. This one's going to be a top T. If not on the right, then we're going to be a right T. And if we're not on the bottom, then we're going to be a bottom T. Whoops. Okay. And then just, again for, kind of overkill, we're going to return none for that. Okay. Yeah, that was like a fair amount of code here, get end cap kind. But I think there's a shot that'll work. And now we're going to say, hey, if end cap kind equals end cap kind dot left, then we're going to say draw the cap on the left side. Okay. Let's do this now. Extract method, draw cap. Let's take our wall data and decompose parameter. So we're passing in the start column and start row. And let's double this up, and now we're going to do the same with its end column and end row. Here's where I think we might get into problems. The start in this row, start column, start row, and the end column, end row might be different for, the coordinates might be different depending on how I'm calculating those. I'm worried that we might have caps showing up in the wrong spaces. And right now we only have check for one, which is the end cap. So right now at this point, there should be no change in functionality, except for it's actually calculating the left cap. Visibly, it should look the same. Let's see what we get. All right, so select from here to here, say we want the left. Ah, it's way off. Or the logic's wrong. This could be the logic's wrong. Yeah, I think we've got maybe a couple problems here. That's slightly disheartening. This piece here is what we're expecting to draw here, but it's really close to this end right over here. Let's try it with a longer line and see what happens. Are we going to get it right over here? Yep. So we're calculating the wrong cap direction for that piece there. So our calculation for what cap goes where seems to be wrong. Let's go back and take a look at that. So the start column, start row, end column, end row, those are coming in. Start column, start row are coming in there. Get cap kind. So here is, let's start it up one more time. Get cap kind tile. Let's review the code for just a second. If we have a horizontal, if the wall left, we have a horizontal wall on the left. If wall left, then that's found, this should be right. These should be the opposite Is that right? Yeah, it's the last found is kind of weird. I should rename this to not last found, but something else. Or, you know what, better yet, let's actually do this. I thought this was going to improve things, but I'm actually not liking it at all. We're going to go back to what we had before. And I'm just going to create a separate. Like this. We grab that, bind to there. Then we're going to say, if wall is to the left, then the end cap kind here is going to be the right one. And over here, if it's the wall is on top, then the end cap is going to be the bottom. Like that. If it's to the right, we're going to be the left. And if we're at the bottom, we're going to be the top. Okay. So that, I think, is going to get us closer. Let's see what happens. Nothing, though, this time. Weird. So breakpoint, run. I'm going to restart it, run it again. Okay, so we're going to put one right here and here is what we'll do. There. So there's a top right there. And our start column is 1, start row is 0. Coming back, none. Crow's 4K. What's on the left? That's Fred. That's Fred right there. Fred's our friend who hangs out with us sometimes here on the show. He's actually a character from our second stream, which is Dungeons and Dragons stream that we are building special effects for on the show. And let me see, does Fred feel good about it? He does. So so is that code, Oz? That's not really code, but Fred, do you have some sort of code controlling you, Fred? Not sure? Is it possible that you might be puppeted? Yeah, you might be puppeted. And who's the guy who's puppeteering you? It's me. And so that's what's going on there. Fred is a character on the Dungeons and Dragons show. He's one of the characters that we that came and joined our party, and so now he's part of the group, and that's what's going on with Fred. And so getting the end cap kind. Now I'm a little bit in trouble here because I was really hoping for that to work, and I think I'm off by 1. Is what I think. And the direction I'm off of, I think, depends on the wall data, whether we're going horizontal or vertical, I suspect. And unfortunately, I'm like not at a point where I think I can solve this by thinking it through or visualize it. So what I want to do is I want to send out some different attempts here at getting the end cap on this and seeing what we have out here. Let's see if I can bring up my watch window and see what our problem is. I want to call map.getEndCapKind and pass in that, and it says none. Let's just offset these by a bit. Let me bring this up so you can see it because Fred's kind of blocking right here. Let's say start row +1. No, not what I was expecting. Say start column +1. So it says the end cap kind is a right there. What about a -1? Left. So here, to get the one we want, we have to subtract 1 from start column. Let's just add this for now and see where the magic numbers take us, because I think we're going to have to look at this for a couple different scenarios. Okay. So it's like the detection is off by the wrong column is what it looks like. Or alternatively, our draw cap code needs to be adjusted by 1. Yeah, there's my -1 right there. Let's undo that -1. Does that start column and row correct? 0 and 1? Yeah, well, here's the problem on that. Now that you mention it. Hold on. The start columns and the start rows are not actually lining up with the tiles themselves. Let's bring up my spec on this. So the problem is this. To make this code really good, I should give this a lot of thought and know the answer to that question. But I don't know the answer to the question because I've only given it a little bit of thought. And my strategy is, and here's kind of what illustrates the problem. This tile right here is at 0, 0. The question is, what is this thing at right here? Right, because it's got a different number of these, right? So while this has 0, 1, and 2 for its rows, this has 0, 1, 2, and 3. So that's kind of what's going on here. So we can't quite use the same coordinates, but I'm kind of doing that. I'm borrowing the tile's coordinates. And so that's kind of what I'm doing here. So let's run this now and see where we get at this point. And so what I'm doing now, my strategy, because it's not quite clear in my head, Coding Gorilla, and I feel like I'm admitting a failure to do this really, really well, and I should be doing it really, really well, but I'm not. But my strategy is to look at where the magic numbers go and see if I can find a good pattern and see if there's some consistency, and then learn from the magic numbers what the adjustment is. That's what I'm trying to do, rather than go in and try and figure everything out the other way. So here's my upper, and that now seems to be lining up. let's take care of the end cap for this, for the right side, and add that. I'm just going to add these one piece at a time, adding the numbers, adding the caps in, and seeing seeing what we get and what the magic numbers look like here, and see if it's not too bad. So if it's going to be equal to right, we're going to add an end cap right, and let's go grab that one. I do not want to replace end with vertical. And then left and right is okay. All right, so there's that one. Oops. Okay. All right, so let's run that now. See what we get. If you iterate over original tiles, you can perform one extra calculation for the missing row. Either top for row 0 if you do calculations on the bottoms, or bottom for end row if you do all the calculations on the tops. Yes, I would agree with that. That is, and I think we're actually already doing that. I think we actually have code that's already doing essentially just that. All right, so here's what we've got here. Wow, okay. So that is good news. We didn't need a separate one for that. So now we've got that wall. Let's add the vertical tile end caps. So let's add both of those. Duplicate both of these. Left is going to go to top, and right is going to go to bottom. That. Select both of these. Duplicate those. I think those are all good. And now here, duplicate that line. Good. Duplicate one more time, and there's we need to get top here. Okay, let's run that. I think we're gonna have a problem here, or if we do have a problem, I think it'll be in the bottoms and tops, and we'll have to figure out the adjustment there. Okay, top one we're not seeing. Okay. The bottom one's not bad though. Really don't like that gap though. That gap is driving me crazy. Do not like the gap. Why aren't we seeing the top one? Are we just simply never coming out here? We're never ever getting a top kind coming back as top. So why is that the case? This is the last one, the fourth one. Wall top is true. So there's my bottom one. Okay. All right, let's set a breakpoint here. Could it be we need the end column -1? Do we need that magic number there to find the... No, wait. No, it's on the start. I bet we don't need the start column to be -1 right here is I bet the issue. In fact, what happens if we come right in here and we say, I want a row, I want one on the left side. Let's clear the breakpoints. Do we get any top ones on there? We do not. There we go. So it is kind of an off by one piece right here, I think. Yeah. So the one to the right, it's like we're off by one in both directions is what my guess is on this. Stream decided to break after I wrote my comment. Yeah, we're a little slow upload speed. It's kind of moving up and down here. This off by 1/2 or whatever is going on here is driving me crazy. Why is that the case? It's almost as if the DPI wasn't quite 96. Is what it feels like. Yeah, that and this other is not looking, it's not working for me. I'm not happy about that. So what happens if I come in here and do a wall here? How do we get this one here? Oh, it's got to end just one up above it is what I think it has to do. And that kind of would confirm. So if I come in here, yeah, here, and I draw one on the left, we should see a cap right here. Yeah, that's it. So it's off. If it is a vertical one, then its offset is its start and end column are off, is what it is. If it's horizontal, the start column's got to be -1. So I think what I want to do is this. Let's see if I can do this. Wall data, start column. Click horizontal wall. So it's horizontal. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to change this to a -1 here for start column. I'm going to do that. So that's my horizontal wall. And I'm good with the end column being this over here because that seems to work. Then I'm going to go take my -1 here and I'm going to get rid of it. And let's run that and see if our horizontal walls still work. All right, here we go. So, good. That still works. All right. Now we're here. Are we seeing nothing or are we seeing something? Okay, here, we're good. We're good for the bottom at least. We're still off by 1, but, you know, well, I'm going to investigate that in a bit or later. This top one is off. Remember when we added one higher over to the right? So that when it's vertical, its start piece really starts over 1 to the left and +1 row is my take on that. So click vertical wall. Definitely -1 here. So we can do it and continue on this. and I think the row was +1. Like that. What's bizarre is this end column, end row seems to be working totally without the row, without the column being adjusted at all. So this seems bizarre to me, but that's what seems to be true based on what we tested. Let's see what happens if we can run it. Looks like adding continue does work. But it is not drawing it where we thought we wanted it to be. Hey, look who's there. Merry Christmas.
He's in the
Yeah,
house.
he flies just like Santa does. Just don't, thanks. Just trying to do a professional show here, Michael Jolly. Well, I'm working my way through this, Michael. I'm not liking this at all. These are my end caps on the lines. I don't even get this. This should be, we're putting these things down by pixel. By integer. We're essentially using integers to throw these down here. I don't know what's going on. It's like we're off by half a pixel. I don't like that. All right, let's go in here and change this up here. I'm just going to play around with some numbers so we get a hit here on this. And for folks just joining us, I'm essentially using magic numbers here to figure things out. Oh, look at this. It has a vertical wall. Look at this. We do a row +1 there in the check right here. I'm going to take off of column here for start column and start row and see what we get with that. Run it. Just taking off some numbers here to see if we get anything. Nope, that didn't do it either. Bald Bearded Builder says, ooh, I like those textures. Yeah, they're not bad, but they should be gorgeous. But the being off by half a pixel or whatever we're off by is not great. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Why would that be the case? The only thing better than magic strings are magic numbers. Oh, there you go. Will Bennett says, hey, streamer, leave them codes alone. All in all, it's just another bug in the wall. Where is that vertical wall? Where is that? It's the start row and start column on this. We're not able to find it. It's a combination of a +1 and -1, I think, is the problem right here. Let's go see what we can do to see if we can find this here. Yeah, I think we may not be able to find it because we've got it close by. Oh, we found it. So putting this here got this one down here. So it's not a +1, it's a -1. Is that all it is? Let's see if that's it. Do I have a breakpoint? I do. There we go. Okay, not bad. That's driving me crazy, though. If we come in and give it a floor, though, I bet we can, that kind of goes away, so we don't really see it too much. So that's not bad. All right, now let's add more. Let's get their T's in here next. See if we have a problem now as we start going to T's. Wall builder. So we'll create a T top like that. and T bottom, and a T left, and a T right. All right. And let's see, what did I call the file out there? Just an underscore, T underscore. T top, T left to right. Okay. Okay. T left. And T right. Okay. Then we're going to take all of that and duplicate it, and then we're going to come down here and we're going to say this is T left T, and then we're going to come down here and call this T left, like that. I could just come in here like this, Alt, Shift, left arrow, and then Alt, and then Control Alt Enter to mark the two lefts. Copy those to the clipboard. Select it. Copy to the clipboard. Come down here. Paste. There's my right. Paste again. It's gonna be bottom T, and then come down. Whoops. And paste again. And this is gonna be our top T, like that. You're such a tease. Tea time. Where's Rory? Rory's not here. Sorry. So now let's see what happens here. Is this all gonna work? Or are we going to have trouble? I really want this to work. Okay, so double click here. Let's just put this all around it. Walls all around it. Okay, we don't have corners working yet, so that's okay. Let's drop a wall here on the bottom. Did that work? Holy cow. Nice. Let's drop a wall here. Nice. Okay, still have this problem that's bugging me like crazy, but looks like our T's are working. Let's put a T here. I'm going to call those working. Let's see, we've tested the one on the left, the one on the bottom, one on the top, then we just need a T over here, and this is all four of our T's are being tested. Looks good. Looks really good. If we were to change this flooring, and we're starting to get something that's looking pretty good here. Just off by one is, that off by one error is bugging me, but right, it's starting to look like a dungeon. It's starting to look like the walls of a dungeon, and the other thing that's cool about it is it essentially supports infinite walls. The walls can be any length, and the whole thing looks like it was kind of hand drawn. Let's get our corners working.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's not bad. Corner, say top left, bottom left, top right, and then bottom right. Okay, like that. Is that off by one error bugging you? We can't tell. Yeah, a little bit. It's bugging me. But, you know, I'm also of the mindset that I'm going to be like, if I get this to work, that off by one is I'm going to run with it and be okay with it. And later I'll come in and rationalize it with therapy and group therapy. Okay, so now corner top left. What's the file name? Here, corner bottom right, bottom left, top right. Okay. So top right, bottom left, top left. Okay, we've got those corners there. Let's duplicate this. This is going to be, do I have a corner? Bottom left corner. And this should be bottom left. And now I should be able to select that and come in here, multi-select this, copy both of those to clipboard, come down and paste. And then we're going to change this to bottom right and then paste again. And this one is going to be, let's see, we have top right. So bottom left, bottom right, top right, and then top left. And those are corners. Let's see if that works. Why is the cap off by like half of a pixel? Yeah, it's like not a 1 off, it's a 1/2 off almost. Well, I guess we have two issues here. We have one that's kind of, we got a 1 off in some of our markers on this. So let's come in here and say, let's just build a wall all the way around it. That selection. Okay, looks like we are using the wrong, either we're using the wrong image name. These are all the wrong ones. I think the problem is in get endcap kind. Okay. Yeah. I think this is the problem. If I have a wall to the left and a wall above us, then this is a bottom left, this is a bottom right corner. This part's right here is wrong. So we'll fix it over here. We'll come in here, we'll do the same here. And now we're going to say, so if we have, this is a bottom right corner. The top left is here, so we just swap these two. That should do it, I think. Let's see what happens. Nice. Look at that, kids. Now, aside from this 1 off that's bugging me like crazy, this one here, that's bugging me like crazy. There's a little bit here. This is like off by just the slightest amount. I have an idea on how we can fix it. It's not too bad, but, and like I say, when we don't have a bright surface underneath, it's not bad. Yeah, it's kind of bad. That sucks. I want to fix that. But in general, it's not bad, right? What we've created here, its ability to create walls here. Let's come in here like this, do the same thing. Just creating walls around everything. There you can see what's happening, right? It's kind of nice. Have we done a 4-way intersection yet? I don't think we have. Well, 4-way intersection is not working. Oh, because we don't have it loaded yet. That's why. All right, let's load our 4-way intersection. And then we'll get this piece here done. And then we'll figure out what's going on with this. I don't know. I say we'll figure it out. I don't know if we'll be able to do this. We'll take a stab at it. Let's get our 4-way intersection up and loaded. intersection. Okay, I don't want to use tile anymore up here. All right. Get rid of tile. Let's run it and see if it works. We'll make sure that everything still works the same as before. Plus, we got to test for the four-way intersection. See if that works. All right, looks like it's still working. Looks like everything is still working with those changes. So let's create a vertical wall here. Let's create a horizontal wall here. Let's create a T. I think we're in pretty good shape. It's not bad. Let's create walls all the way around this room. Let's triple click and create walls around all the rooms. Triple click and create walls all around the corridor, or at least this corridor. Sorry, that was a triple click I meant to do. Now do all the corridors. Okay, so not bad. Wherever there's a door, we need to kind of fix that. We can work on doors later. Yeah, that is definitely bugging me. Let's create some dungeon flooring here. What's happening here? I feel like I'm in a, that took a really long time to fill all that up. And I'm scrolling in and out. It seems non-responsive. Okay, now it's responsive. What was that about? Let's throw another tile scenario at it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It is non-responsive. I'm scrolling the mouse wheel. There we go. About 10 seconds it took to do all of that. Wonder why that is. However, the look, aside from this little kind of glitch here, the look is not bad. Right? It's looking oh, looks like we broke for a second. Yeah, we were down at 0 kilobytes per second upload speed, and we just recovered. Sorry about that, kids. I was just starting up another app, and I wonder if that's related to the issue. Let's go in and check whatever is our memory usage like. D&D map spike is okay. It's about 3 gigs. It's not too much higher than it was before. So I want to take this, screenshot that, come over to my image editing program. I'll drag that up to my main screen so you can see it. Okay, what I want to do here is, hold on. Why is it drawing only rectangles for me? Where is the option for this? There's the one I want right there. Okay, hold on a second. I want to do, so if it's a voided area, like this, in other words, an area where a character cannot stand. The effect that I want to create, so I want to do something, and I'll show you. It's like this. I want to do that for the effect. Something like that, where it kind of fades away as it goes into you can't step in this zone. That's what I want to do. So that's like the last kind of effect that I'm going to do on this, on the wall, is I've got to figure that out. And I think the technique for it is somewhat similar to drawing walls and corners and all of that. I think I haven't given it a lot of thought, but I think I'm going to need, you know, just like drawing walls, I'm going to need areas for a wall, but I'm also going to need corner pieces as well, like here in this corner piece to put them all together. So that's kind of the last thing I want to do. In fact, let me undo that for a second and let me adjust this a little bit because that's not quite the look I'm going for. The look I'm going for is going to be a little bit more of a fade. In other words, more of the wall is going to be obscured. And I think when I show you this, you'll get a sense of it, and I will too, about what really it's going to look like. So it's as if it starts over the wall. Over a little more over the wall. All right. Yeah, somewhere in there is what I'm looking for in terms of coverage there. Is it just me or there's a stream in and out? Oh, yeah. Maybe this is a good time to end. Yeah, I'm seeing my upload speed jump all over the place here, so it looks like there's some internet trouble here. All right, let's do this. We'll end the stream. I'm going to be thinking about this problem with these little thin lines here. Why is this not lining up perfectly? And I'll be thinking about that, and we'll see how to solve that. We can solve that. And we'll see you all next week, next Tuesday. But it's not bad in general. I'm going to say we've got something that is looking about the level I wanted it to look at.